Hey, welcome back everyone. It's Travis Junty with the Agent Collab. Holy cow, I know it's been a minute. We had the Christmas holidays. You still got Elf up there hiding in a box. Actually, that's just the kid's elf. But anyways, today what I wanted to do, I wanted to go over, actual savings. Because I've been here for just over a year now. It's been probably about 13 or 14 months now, but I wanted to go back and kind of look at what those savings were over that time to kind of give you a true, honest opinion or honest numbers on what those numbers could look like for your business. And I'm not gonna go in here inflate numbers and say, hey, well, everybody uses this, everybody uses that, and this is the numbers of how they should be. I'm gonna use more honest numbers on some of the basic services that everybody uses on a day-to-day basis for their real estate business, or at least they should. Hey, just a quick shameless plug, right? Again, this is Travis Junty with the Agent Collab. I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit the little notification bell to make sure you get notified anytime we put out new content. Let's kind of continue on here, okay? So I figured the best way to do this is we're gonna look at some of the general agent benefits, kind of the day-to-day life, like the car washes and stuff like that. And then we'll kind of go into a deal breakdown. And for the sake of privacy for my clients, I'm not gonna go into addresses and all that. Just kind of go over a brief overview. Like I said, I'm just going to be transparent on what I use, what I didn't use, and maybe there's times where I use something else, right? So we're going to do a deep dive on that. And for that, what I'm going to do is jump into the computer. So you guys may or may not remember my previous videos where I went over different comparisons where we talked about but like Epique versus EXP. So a lot of these expenses, a lot of these different benefits and fees saved would have kind of used those same numbers. So for signs, for instance, I'll use that. That's a one-time annual sign install, listing photos. So I'm going to use those same numbers, just kind of keep on the normal. And like I said, I'm going to go over the general benefits first, and then we'll do a deep dive onto the each and individual deal. So make sure you stay till the end where we kind of go over that breakdown of how all those numbers look, what adds up at the end. Unless you're a math nerd and you're adding them up as you go, you could be doing that with your calculator. I'm not really sure. So first and foremost, like I said, I didn't put a number for some of these things. Like I should have put like agent billboard and listing billboard, but you know what? Most people aren't using those. So I'm not even gonna put a monetary value on that. So you can put your own monetary value on something like that. So like this category here is going to be stuff that probably most agents would use or want to use on a day-to-day basis. Sure, but some of them will probably want to use CE courses if you want to stay legit. Buyer seller leads, Social Pay, which basically automates your social marketing. Lofty CRM, I left that over here as well, just for the fact that a lot of people are actually using a CRM if they're with EXP or Real or some of their cloud brokerages or even other brokerages. Most of them are including a CRM, so quite frankly I just left it out. But a lot of people do put those numbers in because they want inflated numbers, so I left it out on this left side column, okay? Canva Pro, we have that for free. Signs, but we're not paying for signs, right? So all those different benefits that we have that go along with it. Now, a caveat, right? If you want sign writers, if you want specific sign writers for your signs, there is a cost for that. Okay, so I bought, I think 6 sign writers. I think it cost me like $75 for those sign writers. Little 6-inch by 24 sign writers. So it's certainly much more affordable in that sense. So I'm not trying to discount that. And then if you look here, things like healthcare, agent billboard, free tutoring, babysitting, vision, dental, air vet. It's hard to put a number on that, but like even for myself, I think I've mentioned before, shoot, we got 6 kids and they're in hybrid school, so free tutoring, free babysitting, that's going to be, I don't know what that number is going to be, but it's going to be high. And a lot of people, it's going to be high. There's also elder care in that as well. I just didn't have room for sake of cleanliness. I didn't put it in there. Vision, dental. I don't know what others are paying for vision and dental. So those are different benefits as well. Ours is basically comes out to $30 a month with the different fees and stuff added onto it. Anyways, let's do a deep dive on this, okay? I know that's kind of what you guys have been waiting for. So if we're looking here, deal 1, okay? Deal 1 is a land buyer. So with Epique, let me back that train up a little bit. Let's look here real quick. So the Epique fees, okay? So we have commission splits and fees. We have 85/15, goes to 100% once you cap. 99 or 149 a month, which actually should be adjusted because we're grandfathered in now for $99 a month billed annually. But from my understanding, it is month to month 149. for that point, unless you're with a team or something along those lines, then it's a little bit different. 0.1% transaction fee. I didn't have all this in this video. No royalties, franchise fees, no annual quarterly fees, $99 join fee, no other extra fees, okay? And that's a $15,000 decline in cap. So right now I'm actually on a $14,000 cap, where a lot of companies are starting their commission at $14,000 cap, okay? So that's out of the way. So anyways, with deal number one was a land buyer, and with our the way that Epique operates, we have transaction coordinators you use for residential transactions. That does not include land. It does not include commercial. Please mistake me if I'm wrong now. Sometimes things change and you don't catch everything. But there is no TC for a land buyer, so I ran my own TC work. Not a big deal, not a lot of paperwork. So we're going down to deal two, home buyer. And what you might see as a thing that adds up here, I mean, some of the benefits really benefit the sellers a lot, or for listing agents a lot more than, say, a home buyer. I mean, just, you think of expenses as a home buyer or buyer's agent, right? The money that you're putting into it is not the same, and it's hard to reimburse, say, for gas or something like that, right? With a seller, you're paying for listing photos, you're putting signs in the yard, those kind of things that add up. That certainly have a different monetary value to it. So anyways, so the home buyer number two, so this saved me with a transaction coordinator of $350, okay? And there's no other services that were needed on that. I didn't need sign install, I didn't need pictures. So deal three was a home seller, okay? And this is actually through our Realty.com lead system that we have. I actually have a couple of leads on there from there. So I had the TC 350 sign install. I actually didn't have, the guy didn't want signs out there, not a problem. So we didn't have sign install, so I didn't put that price in there. Pictures, $150, of course, and this is money that was saved. So I mean, it depends on your area. Plug in whatever numbers that you have, whatever your average number is. I mean, depending on the size of the home, we might average from probably 150 up to 250. So it really could vary depending on the size. I just put 150 because that's what I put for the other explainer videos. I'm not going to change things up. So deal number four, we had a home seller, transaction coordinator, sign, install, pictures. So what is that? 350, 450. 500, 575 basically for a home. I mean, you're saving $575 for a listing each time. I know there's other companies that they'll charge you that money for each one to have that same package. We just don't do that here. Deal 5, home buyer, just a transaction coordinator. Deal 6, same thing, transaction coordinator. Deal 7, home seller. Again, we didn't have a sign install. This was for a condo. So I didn't have that out there, but I did have the TC, I did have the pictures. This was a Realty.com lead, again, so that was the second Realty.com lead that we have in there. And one other thing I wanted to add, I know I mentioned it in my other videos, we do have the free leads that we have that go into our lead pond. I started working those kind of initially, but then I just kind of dropped off. I know a lot of people are closing those deals. So if that's something that you like to work, ringing the phones and stuff like that and working some of those leads, by all means, those are free leads. Work them, convert those guys. So anyways, deal 7, the home seller, that was Realty.com lead. Seller number 8, again, $575. Money saved right there for that deal. Another buyer, this was $350. This one, deal number 10, a seller. I also used AI pictures. And what I used AI pictures for on this one, I mean, just kind of get an idea of, we had one room that had, a couple of pictures I wanted to use to kind of convey a living room, right? So, I mean, that was super handy having that. So I added that extra $48 on there. That was basically $24 a picture. And that's kind of using off of like Box Brownie or something like that. Deal number 7 or 11, that was a buyer, transaction coordinator, land seller. Again, this is me being fully transparent. I have signs from my previous company, so I didn't have like a cost for signs. Had my own pictures done for land. I think they were actually $125. Put $150 just because that's just staying transparent with it. Again, there's no TC for land, so I just left it as it is. The next one was a buyer, $350 saved. Next one was another seller, another $575 saved. I apologize if this is getting a little bit boring, but I'm trying to just go quick for it. Another one was a seller for $575. Hey, feel free to skip to the end. It's not a problem. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. Deal 16 is another seller, and this was again where I used the AI pictures, for it as well. And then if you come down here, look at down here, total savings, okay? So we have total savings of $7,350. Okay, so that was for just real basic stuff, okay? So that total savings, that's just going off of basically your TC, your pictures, your sign install. Those are just the basic everyday things. And like I said, I didn't include, stuff up here like billboards and healthcare, Thanks.io, free tutoring, babysitting. I also didn't put in there mentorship, the area leaders. You have that forever mentorship. I didn't put that in here. So it's $7,350 worth of savings versus I would have spent that. Maybe I wouldn't use a TC every time. Maybe you can eliminate that. I mean, whatever, so be it. A lot of people are using a TC no matter what, so that cost is in there. So either way, I mean, just play with the numbers, whatever you feel like you want to do. Put some comments, drop a comment down below. Maybe your fees are a little higher, maybe it's a little different. I'm super curious. I mean, this is just an honest conversation. We're just gonna have it right here. What I also wanted to add, like I mentioned here, over here I put in this column just kind of things that maybe not every agent uses. Thanks.io, CE courses, buyer seller leads, social bay. I put in here Lofty. Like I said, I didn't include agent billboard. I didn't include healthcare. I didn't include listing billboards. I didn't include free tutoring, babysitting, vision dental, air vet, and numerous other things that I just didn't add because it's hard to really put a number on it. So it could really be exponential if you really think about it. Anyway, so that added savings was another $8,013. So I mean, that's really a total of what, $15,000 in savings? The cap is $15,000. I don't know. It's kind of a no-brainer, but you be the judge. So guys, let me know. Were you kind of going along with this? Were you kind of totaling up your numbers to see what yours would look like? Let's have that conversation. Let's see what that would look like for you here at Epique Realty. I'd love to have that conversation. Love to be your sponsor here at Epique Realty. And again, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button so you see more content like this. Until next time, we'll see you on the Agent Collab.